Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Stephanie and I've been an online reseller since 2002, and this is my little Ricky Nova. And in today's video I'm going to show you part 2 of what I sold in the month of July of 2021. And this is part 2 of what I sold in July. Now if you missed part 1, make sure you go back and watch that, either before or after you've watched this one. It really doesn't matter. But I'm going to give you a quick recap of what I sold in July on each platform. In the month of July, I profited $3,470 total across all platforms. On eBay, I profited $1,384. Mercari, $475. Facebook Marketplace, $1,251. And Poshmark, $360. Now, why do I talk about profit? Because that's all that matters. Gross numbers don't mean anything, so I'm just telling you my profit, and you'll see some of my gross numbers obviously as we're going, and I'm showing you what sold. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to start off with eBay what sold. Okay, and this first item is this Black & Decker Space Maker Toaster Oven and Broiler. Now I've seen both Osborne Two Thrift and Thrifty Yeti sell the Space Maker line of products. Black & Decker makes them, a few other brands make them. If you see them, be on the lookout. I think people use these in like small apartments, possibly RVs, stuff like that. So anyways, I picked this one up for $16 and it sold for $110 plus shipping. And mine also had the mounting hood and all of the hardware. I mean, bless this person who donated this to the thrift store, because all of this stuff was in a baggie along with this toaster oven. I couldn't believe it. Okay, up next, I have this tennis racket, and I don't know anything about tennis. My knowledge of tennis pretty much ends at who Billie Jean King and John McEnroe are. But I picked up this tennis racket just because I thought it was cool and different. And I thought maybe somebody could put this on their wall as a display. So I paid $2 for this, and you know, this took about a year to sell. So I don't know if I'd pick it up again, but it sold for $59, so in the end it was worth it, I think. So this is a Kniesel, I'm not even sure how you pronounce this brand. Anyway, so this is a White Star tennis racket, and it was made in Austria. And I really just like the graphic on it also, the star design. I think it would look really cool in someone's man cave or sports room or something like that. Okay, up next for $2 at a yard sale, I picked up this Jellycat Odette Ostrich Emu stuffed animal, and it sold for almost $24. And I use all these keywords because somebody may not know what they're looking for, and I also use the keywords of pink and gray in case someone thinks they're looking for a pink ostrich. Well, in actuality, Jellycat calls this an emu. Jellycat pretty much across the board is a bolo. You do want to be careful if you're finding something like a bear or a bunny or something that may have like 50 different iterations of it, that you look up the design really well, because something as different as the little paws might be a different color, or the little nose might be a different color, can mean a huge difference in value for you. Okay, and for $5 I picked up this pack of Canon 221 ink that sold for $34. Always look up ink, you just never know if it's worth something or not. It's real hit and miss, I find, but it's always easy to list and ship. And if it has an expiration date, you always want to note that, because some people are going to care if it's past expiration or not. Some people will take the old cartridges and refill them, so the expiration date may not matter. Okay, and for $5 at a yard sale, I picked up this Pepe Le Pew Ertl die-cast model, and this was, you know, probably about this big or so. It was really heavy when I picked it up, and the reason I picked it up is because at the time they were talking about cancel culture, canceling Pepe Le Pew. Is he too offensive, taking advantage of his woman friend here? I don't know. It was around the same time that the Dr. Seuss books got canceled out. So I picked him up, and this guy sold for $85, and he would have sold for more, except he had a flaw, a few flaws actually, like he was missing part of his hair right here, and there were like a few other minor things, but he still sold for a great price. Okay, and for $5 at a thrift store, I picked up actually 2 of these GE telephones. I'm not sure who still has a land phone. I have never personally had one, but people still want them. And I sold this one for $35, and I sold the other one on Mercari. So you just really never know where your buyer is. Same exact item, 2 different platforms. I found these at Goodwill for $2. And when I looked this up, this brand, there was really nothing on this brand. The only reason I picked this up was because of this racy packaging. Now, I don't know what they were thinking with this. I just imagined some kind of Don Draper type just saying, you know, we should have this packaging where women just feel so free in their pantyhose. Just look at how naked she feels. I don't know what's going on here. So I priced this not based on the brand, but based on the package. So I kind of searched like vintage pantyhose, and I tried to find something that was vaguely similar to this. Now, so I paid $2 for this. I sold them for $50. And this sold overnight. I want to thank my friend Rebecca from Florida for talking about pantyhose on her Instagram. She had a story a while back about selling pantyhose. She said that she likes to pick up bags of them for like $1 or so at her thrift store, and she's had really good luck selling them in lots. So like several packs together. She said they don't have to be the same size or necessarily the same type, because she said that some people, some men, use them for extracurricular activities. Fill in the blanks. I think you can figure out what I mean. So, Bolo, you know, Bolo. Okay, moving more onto the light side. I found this for free on the side of the road in a box of stuff. This is a Magic Kingdom headband that lights up that I sold for $24. Now, Happily Ever After is ending at Magic Kingdom this month, I believe. So anything that says Happily Ever After might soon become a really highly sought after item for collectors, because they're not going to be making it anymore. Okay, for $5, I picked up this Microsoft Comfort Curve computer keyboard. I see these, you know, often enough. About once or twice a month, I'll see this style of keyboard. There's several different model numbers, but I'm always looking for this wavy design. They're really easy to spot. And this one sold for $35. And they generally sell around between $30 to $45 for me, depending on the model. Okay, for $2 at a church sale, I found this Miracle Suit giraffe printed bathing suit. Now this was a size 8. And I tried it on. I'm not a size 8. I'd probably be like a size 4 or something in this brand, and it fit so tight. I don't know how people are wearing this. I mean, just look at this shape here. And it's just really gonna, I guess it's trying to give you that J-Lo type figure here. And it was really cute. I can definitely see why someone wanted this. But this brand is really good to look out for. This one sold for $55. Okay, and I spotted this at the thrift store for $6. And what caught my eye is this really graphic design that it has. This is like an enamelware pasta pot, and it had the strainer on the inside. There wasn't a brand. I don't know if this La Pasta Buonissima is the brand or if that's just the wording on the side. I picked it up because I thought it was charming and cute, and so did someone else, and they paid $48 for this. You know, it was giving me real Lady and the Tramp, you know, pasta vibes. What do you think? We're not doing that. Okay, at an estate sale, I found this vintage Miro aluminum coffee pot, and this one sold for $49. These are really super light if you pick them up. They feel like nothing. So they're great for people that are going camping and they need to keep their packs light. And Miro, to me, they also make like pots and pans and skillets and stuff like that. I haven't found that any of those are worth money. I think this is the only thing I've ever found from the Miro brand so far that has sold for me. Actually, I think they make the cookie presses too. I think I've sold one of those. But anyways, keep an eye out. You do want to make sure if you're getting something like the coffee pot that it has all the pieces. Like this has the filter that goes on the inside also. Okay, for $2 at a thrift store, I found this Bumble Yeti from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I think we all loved this cartoon. And he sold for $38. And the best part is I have another one, an identical twin of him. So I have another one to sell. One listing done. Okay, and I paid $5 for this Hamilton Beach coffee grinder. It was brand new in box. I don't know if this would be worth it without it if it wasn't brand new, but this sold for $40 for me. Okay, my last sale that I'm gonna share with you on eBay. This is a big one for me. I think this is the best-selling item I had for eBay in the month of July. And this is an Erica Wilson, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the favorite cat pillow embroidery needle kit. I paid $5 for this, and it sold for $196 for a craft kit. I mean, that's a lot to pay to have to do some work, I thought. But this brand, this artist, Erica Wilson, is definitely one to look out for. And then combining it with the Metropolitan Museum of Art series is really what made this worth so much money. So Erica Wilson has some needlepoint designs, and then the Metropolitan Museum of Art has other designs. There are two different, brands, I guess, that kind of collaborated. So definitely keep an eye out for these needlepoint kits. Almost always worth looking up. They're easy to list, easy to ship. Not all of them will be worth this much. Most of them will not. I couldn't believe how much I was able to get for this one. So keep an eye out. Okay, so moving on to Mercari. I paid $2 for this Funko Five Nights at Freddy's Foxy plush. I got this at a kids consignment sale, and it sold for $35. There's so many Funko Five Nights at Freddy's plush. Some of them are worth a lot of money. I have sold the Golden Bear before for significantly more. It was definitely over $100. I want to say like around $150. So I'm always looking these up now. Okay, and for $3 of that same kids consignment sale, I picked up this Shrek 3D matching game. Now, it was missing a few pieces, so unfortunately, it wasn't worth as much as I would have liked, but it still sold for $24. Okay, up next is this Ralph Lauren Polo swim trunks for baby boys, size 3T. These were completely free to me. My neighbor gave them to me, and she actually had 2 pairs, and I sold one on Mercari and one on eBay. Another instance, you just never know where your buyer is. On Mercari, they sold for $23. On eBay, they sold for $25, so just about the same price. Okay, and for $2, I picked up this Pyrex Trailing Flowers Red Bowl. I thought this was so pretty, but it wasn't worth a whole lot as far as Pyrex goes. This one sold for $20. Okay, at a yard sale, I picked up a bag of Mary Engelbreit items. There was this ornament, a bookmark, a flower pot, and so 2 little pin cushions in this bag. And I want to say it was like $2 or $3 for this bag. So this was one of the items in there. This is a little ornament, and it kind of didn't look like anything. It reminded me of a craft that somebody would have done in like the late 90s, early 2000s with that Fimo clay. But this is a Mary Engelbreit item, and it sold for $19. Apparently Mary Engelbreit still has a following. There's just not a whole lot of stuff out there. I found a few things here and there, and people still love it. Okay, my last item I'm going to share with you from my Mercari sales is this iOmega Zip external hard drive that I paid $5 for at an estate sale. Now this was on day 2 or 3, I want to say, of this estate sale, and there was a few random vintage type electronics, or electronics that you normally wouldn't think that people are still using, but they are. And this just got passed by, and I sold this for $130. Okay, moving on to Poshmark. Now, I think a lot of these things are going to surprise you what I sold on Poshmark, because not one of them is a clothing item. Not a one. So, okay, so Poshmark does allow you to sell housewares items, so that's a lot of what you're gonna see here. As long as it's 5 pounds or under, you're allowed to ship it. I've heard of some people selling over that on that weight, and they pay a little bit extra on the postage. But the postage prices to me are a little steep, so I just want to make sure that my item is 5 pounds or less, and then I cross-post it to Poshmark. Again, you really never know where your buyer is, and I'm going to prove that to you with these few oddball sales here. Okay. Up first is a set of 2 Pampered Chef colander strainers that I paid $5 for at a thrift store. Originally I got them for me. I was going to use them, and then I decided I didn't like them because they weren't very dishwasher or hand wash friendly, because stuff just kept getting stuck in there, and I'm not about that life. Anyways, these sold for $26 for the pair. Okay, for $7 at a thrift store, I picked up this pink Victoria's Secret collegiate backpack, and it sold for $63. This was a huge, really nice backpack. It was like parachute material and had all these pockets on the outside. And it was really, really cool. I think someone's going to have a lot of fun with this in college. Okay, a side of the road find was a Skipper doll. And she sold for $15. She was not in good shape at all. As you can tell by her hair, it looks like she had an accident with the curling iron or something. I did try my best to kind of comb her hair a little bit, but then I noticed that it was falling out of her head, and I didn't want to damage her any further than she already was, so I just listed her as is, and she sold pretty immediately. 15 bucks, something I found on the side of the road. I'm happy with that, and some doll collector or restorer is going to do something amazing with her, I'm sure. Okay, for $2, I got this Nat and Jules plush zebra Blanky Lovey. You could see my photo room app did an excellent job of this photo, but that's okay. This still sold for $30. You know, always look out for Loveys. You never know what little Linus has lost. Okay, and here come the surprising parts. You know, if those colanders weren't surprising enough. For $1, I picked up this Jemmy Man in the Moon sun wall decor, and he sings That's Amore. And I'll spare you, I will not sing that song. But I was going to keep this item for myself because I just love the celestial type stuff. If you can't tell from my dog's names, you know, Nova and Celeste. You know, I just like that kind of decor. But when I got home, I decided, well, let me just look this up for kicks and giggles, you know, to see if it's worth anything. And sure enough, it was. And it sold for $75 on Poshmark. Poshmark! Oh, and this was a plastic item, so he was really light to ship. Okay, and the most surprising item that I have sold on Poshmark is this Dirt Devil Cone Dustbuster Vacuum. And I paid $21 for this at a thrift store. Yeah, that's a lot of money, but it still brought me a good profit. And what made this one so valuable is the color pink. Because of the color. That's a really, really hard one to find, especially in a working condition. So you do want to test these before you list them. And they do have 2 little contacts on it, and if those contacts are not lined up just so, it's not going to charge. So you do want to make sure it charges and it works. So after I charged it, I ran it for about 15 minutes to make sure it was going to suck stuff up and work for a decent amount of time. But yeah, definitely take a look out for these because they kind of look like, I don't know. I think this thrift store had these in with like the lamps and stuff like that when I found it. It was not in the right spot. So someone that doesn't know what they're looking for, doesn't know what this is, may not, you know, it might be in the wrong spot is what I'm trying to say. Okay, and moving on to our last platform, Facebook Marketplace. Now the first item I'm going to start off with is this California Creations plaster little house that you paint. I mean, they're small. They're probably about this big, this scientific measurement here. And I paid $1 for this at a thrift store, and the reason I thought to pick this up is because I remember seeing Thrift to Travel sell these, and this is the second one I have sold from this brand, California Creations, remember that. So this one sold for $45, and the other one that I sold for about that same price also. So for whatever reason, people like these little plaster houses to make little scenes out of, to decorate and paint, maybe because they're so detailed. And if they have any flaws, make sure that you show them. Like this one had a little tiny chip on the top. Somebody still bought it. It didn't matter to them. Okay, at a kids consignment sale, I picked up this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles transforming car. And as you can see on my cover photo, I did show it transforming. That way the person, you know, if they were looking for that item, they were able to see it because here it is all collapsed. It's just not as impressive. So this one sold for $25, and I actually picked up 2 of these at that same time, and I just sold that other one today. Okay, for $2, I have this Hollister Crescent Bay Shimmer Body Spray that sold for $30. And this one was not full, as you can see. It was probably about 75% full. So I did want to show it on the scale. As you can see here, there's about 6 ounces left on this bottle. So, you know, look at that. I still have the price listed on this little bottle. I didn't even notice that. Oh my gosh. It says, I think that originally said it like $1.79 is what I think it originally said. I think I was able to get part of it off. How funny. Oh my gosh. Anyways, it's still sold. Someone didn't notice that. Don't worry, be happy. Okay, and I paid $7 for the Sheffield England condiment caddy jar. I'm not sure exactly what it was for, if it was for jellies, jams, or sugars, but it was really pretty. It was pretty heavy. It was pretty hefty, and I was so scared that I was going to break it every time I handled this because, like Bart Simpson, I have butterfingers, a different kind. And anyways, this sold for $50 on Facebook Marketplace, and it was just adorable. It reminded me of Downton Abbey or something like that. Okay, for $1 at a thrift store, I got this vintage Artmark Rooster cookie canister set. And it wasn't in the greatest condition, as you can see. He had some paint flaws and some little tiny cracks, but this was a really cute item for someone to display in their kitchen. And it came apart, as you can see, so you could put like flour, sugar, coffee, or something like that inside of them. Okay, this was another side of the road pickup, so $0 for me, and I sold it for $20, even though it was missing the drawstring. This is Quicksilver Vista Beach board shorts. And I think these were still being sold on the Quicksilver website. I want to say for like 40 or 50 bucks, somewhere around there. So someone was still able to get a great deal. Okay, I paid $4 for this vintage Little Tykes red van with the mom and the dad. And again, this one wasn't again in the greatest shape, but it's still sold, and it sold for $33. And because it included the figurines, I think that's part of the reason I was able to get a little bit more. Otherwise, I think next time I'd do a better job at paying attention to the condition, but I still got a good profit out of it in the end. Okay, for $8, I bought this Tupperware microwave oven stack cookware set, and it included these 5 pieces, as you can see here. And I have sold several of these sets before. For whatever reason, people like these. I know my mom had one of these with the cookbook, probably back in, in the 90s when I was a kid. So maybe that's why people want them again, because they remember their mom making, I don't know, meatloaf and potatoes and I don't know what. I don't know that any of the meals are particularly great in the microwave, but people are still looking for these. If you see them and you find the right pieces that go with them, they're definitely worth picking up. And this particular set sold for $60. Okay, my final item that I'm going to share with you is this Big Ben Wrangler denim jacket chore coat. And I paid $1 for this at a church sale and one of those fill your bag sales. So this item filled up the entire bag, so $1 for this guy. And he sold overnight on Facebook Marketplace for $85. $85, that's just fantastic. And these coats right now are in for people that A, need them for work, farm work or working outside, and also people that just want to look cool or stay warm. Okay, that's all for this video. If you liked it, please give it a great big thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to my channel. Okay, if you're not already, follow me and Nova over on Instagram. I share more of my sales, tips, and tricks over on that page. And until then, I'll see you next time. Bye! Okay, to give you a quick recap, in the month of July, I